All right, so let's continue Shulchan Aruch. So whoever is following, it's on page 58, and the topic is laws of the morning blessings. And we're at the end of this. It's Siman 8 and Halachos also, also 8. 7, I'm sorry. 7. I apologize, 7. And it says, if he has not recited the blessing over the Torah study before prayer, the halachic authorities disagree whether or not he should recite them after the prayer service. All right, so we have this blessing. It's in the very beginning of our Siddur. Right, so he did not say. So basically, he skipped it for whatever reason. He was late. He overslept. So now the question is if he should say it afterwards, after the prayer, as we said before. Like all other things, whatever he missed, he has to say. Like morning blessing, he has to say. And other things, for example, Psuki de Zimra, he missed. He skipped because he wanted to pray with a minion. He has to repeat them. Okay. So commentary saying, as with all morning blessing, except those excluded in previous CF, right? The blessing of the Torah should theoretically be recited even after prayer, right? However, Achava Rabbah, the blessing said immediately before Shema Israel, could be construed as a blessing of the Torah. If so, one who is omitted Birchas HaTorah before praying might not be permitted to recite them upon the conclusion of the prayer. So what does it mean? So we have this Achava Rabbah in the morning prayers. We were talking about morning only. It's a last blessing before saying Shema Israel, and there it says some verses that it says that about blessing of thanking HaShem for giving us Torah. All right, so some authorities say so that that's maybe a blessing of the Torah. Maybe we don't need to repeat the blessings of the Torah afterwards. Okay. Of course, it's only after the fact. Some say that he should not recite them because he has already discharged his obligation to say them by the reciting blessing Achava Rabbah with abundant love. Okay? Or with Alam, or Achavas Alam with eternal love. So Ashkenazim say Achava Rabbah and Sephardim say Achavas Olam. Okay. That's the difference. So and we said before Kriyat Shema. So that's the question. For the blessing also contain essence of the blessing of the Torah with the words, instill in our hearts the understanding and elucidate to listen, to learn, and to teach, etc. So basically, it's like it's not exactly the same. No, it's not for sure. It's not the same blessing as we're supposed to say when say the blessing of the Torah, but some like big ideas are the same. Okay, some say that reciting blessing Achava Rabbah does not exempt one from obligation to recite the blessing of the Torah. Okay, that's the conflict. So some people say yes, people meaning Rabbi. Some say no, unless he studied Torah immediately after the prayers. So that's another thing. Without interruption. So basically, in the morning when you open on the page, so it says you say blessing of the Torah, and right away, as we said last time, you learn from Chumash, you learn from Talmud, and you learn from a Mishnah right there, right? So here they say even if he said the blessing on the Torah, if we say like even after the fact, did he study the Torah afterwards? Okay, so let's see commentary number 16. If the blessing of the Torah were not recited previously, Achava Rabbah could serve in their stead. If one studied the Torah immediately after he recited it, which is okay. So he said Achava Rabbah. So did he study the Torah? So that's the question. The way I understand the question is, so he's going to say Shema Israel. In some sense, Shema Israel is a prayer, and in another sense, it is also a pasuk from the Torah. So it could be like he studied Torah. So that's I think is a question. It says in Shulchan Aruch 47:8 suggests that even the Shema, which is normally recited immediately after Achava Rabbah, would possibly satisfy the immediate need for the Torah study following the blessing, and therefore allows Achava Rabbah to serve the blessing over the Torah study. So according to this poskim, so as we said before, so they count this Shema Israel as a part of the Torah study. And basically he said Achava Rabbah, he said Shema Israel, and now he does not need to repeat the blessing on the Torah. This is the first opinion expressed in the Kitzur. Others cited in a second opinion of the Kitzur maintained that Achava Rabbah was instituted primarily as a blessing for recitation of the Shema, in order for it to serve as a blessing over the Torah study as well. One would need to study the passage of the Torah other than Shema. Okay, so second opinion say that first of all this Achava Rabbah, so it was one of the blessings before saying Shema. So even if it was, as you say, maybe they say, even if you say that it you can use it as a blessing over the Torah study, still they say Shema Israel cannot be used as a Torah study. I'm not sure why they don't mention the second paragraph of the Shema. It's also from the Torah. I'm not sure. Okay, but as you see, we have reason to say it this way or the other way. Okay. So continue. Therefore, ideally, one must be careful to recite the blessing of the Torah before the prayers. That's the proper way. Just get up a little early and say all of the blessings at home, as we said last time. In the event that he forgot to recite the blessing before the prayers, he should learn some words of the Torah immediately after the prayers. Okay. So meaning if he let me read one more time and we explain. In the event that he forgot to recite the blessing before the prayers, he should learn some words of the Torah immediately after the prayers. And if he forgot to do this as well, due to the doubt, he's still not required to recite the blessing of the Torah. So out of doubt, since we do not know whether or not he has to say it, like after the fact, after he forgot, so we just don't force him to say it. Okay, comment to him. Even if he did not have in mind, when he recited Achava Rabbah, that he should be, that it should be in a place of Birchas HaTorah, in a blessing over the Torah, he may still study some words of the Torah, and the blessing of Achava Rabbah would be considered as being fulfillment of the blessing of the Torah study. So very interesting. So basically he said that this Achava Rabbah blessing before Shema Israel, and the way I would say like maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes passed after that, maybe even more time passed after he said that, and he was saying all of the other psukim. So they say it's not, so basically what they're trying to say, it's not an interruption. So even after he's finished praying, so he can say the words of the Torah. That is going to get linked to this Achava Rabbah that he said 20 minutes ago. Very interesting.